Greetings! Welcome to Nina's World. This podcast provides a short respite from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. We're going to step back in time to the 1950s and 60s. And now, our story. Nina gets a haircut. Calm down. I can make it even. Getting ready for a new school year included a lot of shopping, since most of the summer the kids wore shorts and tops. But when the school year began, they had to have school clothes that included dresses or skirts and blouses. Nina's mom would buy a dozen or so pair of plain white knee socks to reduce the problem of trying to find matching pairs. But after several washings, they lost their elasticity, and with each step on the way to school, slid toward the girls' legs, then into their shoes, creating cocoons around the arches of their feet. No matter how many times the girls would pull them back up, they shimmied their way down again, reinforcing Newton's law of gravity. It was a dress that Nina's mom liked at the store, a red and black plaid with a white bib and a black ribbon at the neck that she bought 3 of so that the girls could each have her own. And if they wanted to, they could wear the same dress on the same day. None of the girls wanted to be seen in the same dress on the same day as one of their sisters. It was one step away from wearing school uniforms. About 10 years after Nina's family moved to their house, a shopping center was built with a large grocery store, a donut shop, a Woolworths 5 and 10, a pharmacy, and several other stores. It was on the main road that children had to cross each day to get to school. It was one of the first of its kind, and people were very excited about it. At the same time, something called a housing development was built nearby, where a farm used to be, with a lot of new houses called split levels. Each house was pretty, but looked almost identical, with a broad, slanted roof and a garage inside the house. Inside the house. Can you imagine that? The garage was inside the house. Some of the new families had children that attended the Maple Avenue Elementary School. One of them, Beverly, was in Nina's class, and they became friends. Nina's brother Martin was in 6th grade. Dorothy was in 4th. Nina's younger sister, Martha, was in 1st grade. She was now in school for the whole day for the first time. Sadly, even in elementary school, some staff and occasionally some students commented on what clothing children wore or the way they were groomed. It was obvious that Nina and her siblings did not meet their standards. With so many children from one family in the school, Nina and her siblings could not go unnoticed. The girls sometimes heard the whisperings about that large Catholic family, or they're so poor, or someone should do something about that. But Nina and her sisters would pretend to be hard of hearing when those speaking were hard of heart. Prior to the beginning of the school year, each of the girls would get a haircut. Not from a salon where someone was trained and knew how to handle calyx, but by their mother, using the scissors and comb their dead grandfather left behind, a legacy from a man who had been a barber from the time he arrived in America before the First World War until just a few years before his death. But this year, Nina's mom was busy with concerns about her own mom and didn't have time to cut each child's hair. She made up for it by organizing a hair cutting party just before October. One by one, each sister was victimized. When it was Nina's turn that warm autumn afternoon, she sat on the high stool in the middle of the kitchen, newspaper covering the floor. She had one of her dad's old work shirts around her, a sort of cape to catch the anticipated bits of hair. Her mother dipped the comb in the tumbler of cool water and ran it through Nina's hair. It tickled as it dripped on her face and became a rivulet along her neck. It felt comforting with each repetition, the comb making its way from the crown of her head to the straggly bottom, causing to untangle a knot here or there until the comb could move effortlessly. Nina's mom instructed her. Okay, now, Nina, hold still while I cut the back. Nina did hold still, but painfully so, as she resisted the urge to move at all. Snip, snip, as Nina's hair surrendered and fell to the kitchen floor. More combing, more adjusting, more snipping, until Nina's mom was satisfied. That's fine. Time for the bangs. Try not to wiggle. This trash can. Here, put it under your chin to catch the hair. As before, Nina's mom dipped the comb in water, slid it through her bangs several times. The hair that had once done whatever it wanted was now being forced to behave. Nina could feel the cool steel of the scissors slide across the top of her brows. Nina could feel the snippets of hair drop over her face and into the trash can that she held beneath her chin. A few more movements with the comb, and her mom stood back to evaluate her handiwork. There was no smile on her face. Nina's mom again dipped the comb in the water, slid it through her bangs. She combed another time or two and then said, let me just snip a few stray hairs on this side. Snip, snip, snip. Nina's mother combed more hair from the top of Nina's head. Snippity, snip, snip. Nina's mother brushed some bits of hair off Nina's face before turning the stool so Nina could see herself in the mirror. Uh-oh. Either the kitchen floor wasn't level or Nina's bangs were crooked. Nina exclaimed, my bangs look like a sliding board. Calm down. I can make it even. Wait, I have an even better idea. Something I saw in a magazine. It will be so adorable, Nina. Nina's mother started anew. Comb and water, comb through hair, scissors in hand, snip, snip. Nina could feel the scissors going up and down above each eye, wondered what her mother could possibly be doing. Comb and water, comb through hair, scissors ready. Nina's mom made the finishing touches and turned the stool so she could see herself in the mirror. Nina's mom had cut away a half circle of hair above each eye, and the bangs in the middle came to a point just above her nose. Nina thought, I look like a vampire. I look like a vampire. I look like a vampire. She started to wail like a pig stuck in a garden fence. Her mother wasn't happy either, saying, honey, please come down. It's called a sweetheart haircut. Look, here's the top of the heart, and here's the bottom. Nina's mother ran her hands along each side of Nina's hairline, then down the jaw until she came to her chin. She left Nina on the stool in search of the magazine. Once found, opened it to a page, and there was a round-faced little girl with a heart-shaped hairdo. Nina wailed again. I don't like it. I still look like a vampire. I can't go to school this way. I don't want people looking at me. Everybody's going to laugh. And they're going to point at me and they're going to make fun of me. No amount of her mother's shushing or cooing consoled Nina. Taking another look at her daughter only confirmed that Nina, with her thin face and thick eyebrows, did indeed look like a vampire. Aware of the disaster, but unable to undo the do, Nina's mother came up with another idea. She talked to Nina, told her it was the only way she could fix the hair, and she apologized. Reluctantly, because it was better than looking like a vampire, Nina agreed. Nina's mother started again. Comb in water, comb through hair, scissors in hand, snip, snip, and with a few more snip, snip, snips, and the deed was done. The final bits of hair landed in the small trash bin. There was left just one more combing through. Her dad's shirt removed and shaken out onto the lawn, and the instruments of torture returned to their home in a saltwater taffy box with the rubber band to secure it. And that, dear listeners, was how Nina went to school with just a fringe of bangs at the top of her forehead, and what gave some people one more thing to talk about. The end. Thank you for visiting with us today. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with everyone you know. Return next week for another story from Nina's World. This story was written and read by Christine McKee, with gratitude to Dr. Ethel Ratkin of Bucks County Community College for editorial consultation and encouragement. Additional heartfelt support from family, friends, and members of my writing groups. Technical support was provided by Mr. Dan Tarrant of Personally Catholic. Sound engineering by Mr. Andrew Kimmock of AK Productions. May you embrace peace in your heart, in your home, and in your world.